Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. This is stage 4 race of Makuri. This is the fine and sandy route. I'm actually recording this on Thursday, Thanksgiving Day, so happy belated Thanksgiving to you guys. A little bit about the profile here. It's 2 laps, just over 10 kilometers long, so about like 6-ish miles. And again, it's 2 laps. I didn't realize this. I made a mistake. I thought it was going to be a total of like 26 miles. I was kind of prepared for that. I knew there was a couple climbs in it. But again, I thought that was over the course of like 26 miles instead of it being half that. So immediately I'm relieved. And I was feeling not great going into this. Legs just not very well recovered from doing the Tour of Makuri stage 6 just the day before. And then I start this, I was like, oh, it's actually half the distance. This is going to work to my advantage so well. And there's only 2 of these climbs. This is great. And I'm on the first one right now, the Mech loop. Um, Spikes up to 6% on 2 separate occasions, but it's just like one of those longer, more gradual climbs. And even then it's not super long. And then it flattens out, and then it goes to this downhill section here. So I'm like, okay, like I'm gonna do a little recon on the first one. I'm not gonna go full gas, but on the second one, it's only 13 miles. I'll probably have some saved up. I can go all out. And again, you just saw the route profile there. The second climb is at the very end. I was like, oh, maybe I can attack there, and I'll be in pretty good standings in this race actually. So I'm pretty excited for this. So I did a solid 20 some minute warm up, just really loosened up the legs, got them feeling much more fresh, and we're going on this race. So it's going really well for me, dude. I'm sitting in the draft real nice. Big group of riders here, 80 some, and yeah, we're just coasting along. I have not particularly enjoyed these stages, these race Makuri stages, nor have I really enjoyed the tour of Makuri Islands terribly much. This one, for sure, my favorite. I actually really enjoyed it. I didn't love the sand aspect. People can tell me all they want. Oh, it's magical sand. It's super compact and it's got the same rolling resistance as the tarmac. No offense, but I don't believe you. There's just something about like it's got to be mental at this point. The rolling resistance is not the same on sand, even in Makuri Islands, as it is on tarmac. But whatever. We're moving along real nice, dude. I hated the chain chomper route, and I did that one twice. Dude, check this out. I'm on this sprint, and I decided to go for it. I was like, you know what? I'm not going to do anything crazy. It's still lap 1. This dude beats me by 6/100ths of a second. So, note to self, if you're going to go for it, go for it. I kind of piddled around a little bit, I'll be honest, and this dude came up and took it right from under my nose. So, whatever. So I thought that was kind of funny, but I was like, well, it's only 13 miles. It's half the distance of what I thought. Let me go for this sprint. Went out in front of everybody, and then yeah, he beat me. Beat me at the line. I thought that was kind of funny. But I want to talk about this. This is the climb right here, and this is where I'm realizing, oh, 2 climbs per lap. So I'm actually going to do this climb 4 times. Yeah, that changes things. When you're going to do it 2 times, okay, yeah, conserve, figure it out on the first one, attack it on the second one. Okay, my strategy is going to change a little bit because it looks like we're going to be doing this climb 4 separate times. So actually, the advantage that I found, take this with a grain of salt because I know some of you are big time trial guys and you can have a sustained effort and have a nice high average for that sustained effort. So that's great. What I found, because it's a giant donut, especially on the mini map, it's a big old circle, is really easy to figure out and measure out when you're 25%, 50%, 75% of the way through the circle. And of course, that excludes the little ramp going into it. But I was like, okay, I can kind of gauge my efforts at the 25, 50, 75 mark and go from there. Also, again, 2 separate occasions, it spikes up to 6%. And both times it goes 6 and then goes back down to 5 and then 4 pretty shortly after. So I got the bright idea. Let me stand up and attack, or stand up and put down just more power, kind of surge. Uh, each time it goes to 6%, and then I'll sit back down when it goes to 4% to kind of spike up the power a little bit, but not totally gas myself. It actually worked out pretty well. We'll see it here in a second as we've now on lap 2. So and that's the thing, like this climb is at the beginning of the route and then again at the end. So now that we're on lap 2, it's like we just did this climb and started lap 2. We're doing it again already. So no, it did give me some good opportunities to kind of figure out who to look for, see the percentage increases and where they are, to see what it's like once it levels out, and actually does level out. And then it goes downhill. So again, that's always a struggle for me, being a lighter guy. I'm not gonna risk super tucking. I'm gonna stay up with everybody as best I can. And I do really well on it. So I have, like, I'm feeling pretty good. I'm in like a comfortable cadence actually. I have like good power coming out that's sustainable. So I am feeling really good for this one, despite not feeling good at, the warm up, and even when I woke up this morning. Honestly, it was my full intention of skipping this ride because it was Thanksgiving. I just wanted to sleep in. I did this before I went over to spend the day with my family and everything. My wife wakes me up with a cup of coffee. I was like, "Hey, what are you doing?" She's like, "Oh, I thought you said you were gonna Zwift." I was like, "Yeah, but I also told you I have every intent of skipping it." So shout out to the wife for keeping me accountable. I'm glad she did. Thanks, Bethany. And yeah, we're feeling good on this one. Wrapping up lap 2 here, about halfway done. And I'm kind of looking at this point, okay, we're sub 5 miles. Maybe someone's going to go off the front. So I'm watching. I'm waiting for it. And I want to also conserve. How do I stay towards the front half of the front group? Cover any attacks, but also like conserve myself. When should I attack? And that was one thing I didn't really know, because I know after the climb, it goes downhill, and then there's these rollers that I don't love. They're not like the quick rollers, like a spike up, spike down kind of thing, like it would be in Crit City. They're a little more gradual, and I knew it was gonna be a little bit more. You're gonna have to throw down a little more effort and kind of sustain it, especially after the climb. It's like a long drag to the finish line after the big climb. And I knew the climb was gonna separate a lot of people. I wasn't too worried about that. I've done it 3 times now, so I know where I stand as far as the climb. I'm gonna do pretty well on that. Definitely be in the top 10 in a group this size. Again, not worried about that. So here we go into the last climb, the Mech Isle climb. I start out not in great standings, but like I'm kind of watching everybody. I know there's not going to be a huge draft once it gets up to 4, 5, 6% a couple times. So right where I'm at is fine, and I see these feathers start popping up. I'm like, okay, I got to watch this a little bit more. And then it goes up to the 6% here in a second, and you'll see me stand up. I do the effort standing up, and I sit back down, maybe a tad early, but like, I got to cover these guys, especially when they have a feather power up. I got to compete a little bit more. So it levels out. I'm in 6th place. Here you can see my average power is 317 watts for that whole climb. And then we go down this downhill portion. I'm in 3rd place. And there's big gaps. So I want to like close them, and then this group is forming around me as it kind of levels out. So it's like, okay, we got this guy up the road a tad, but we're like holding everybody. It's like, okay, let me be in a little bit of a group so I can draft with them. We can kind of work together. And then ideally, living in a perfect world, I'll beat them in a final sprint. It's only 4 or 5 guys. I think I can do this pretty well. So we're at 1/4 of a mile remaining. This guy's still up the road. How he's doing this, I don't really know. We're just not catching him. We're not really working together too well. I'm definitely off the front a little bit more. Some guys are ahead of me. Now it starts ticking down, so I use my drafting boost, power through, get ahead of him. One guy left, can't beat him, but he's a category B. Okay, like that's good news. I'm kind of gassed. Look at this, dude. 2nd place. 35 minutes, 16 seconds. There was a guy up ahead, beat me by 2 seconds. I'm okay with that. 2nd place is 2nd place on a great race. I thought I did really well on the 4 climbs. So yeah, man, that's it. Second place, I'll take it. I'm super stoked about that. So felt really good on that route. Really liked it. Definitely my favorite one of all the stages. Really enjoyed it. But I am even more glad that these stupid stages are done, and I'm probably not going to go back to them. So I hope you guys had a great holiday. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know how you thought about my performance down in the comments below, and I will see you in the next one.